agris, in the fields. You wouldn't say in the agriculture, just in the fields. Next word, ex agris, ex agris. Let's hear that one. Good, ex agris. A little louder. Good job. Ex agris is just a different way of saying in agris. One is in the fields, one is out of the fields. Just think of ex being exit. If you exit the fields, you're going out of the fields. That one's pretty easy. Next word, ambulant, ambulant. Can you say that? Ambulant. Very nice. We get words like amble, ambulance, and we'll talk about those in a minute. Next word we have, curate. Curate is sort of the opposite of ambulant. Ambulant, we're walking very slowly. Curate, we're running. We're really getting it. So curate, think of a course that you run. Ambulant, you're walking slowly. Sunt. Good. Remember, this is the one that's tricky because it's from sum esse, which meant to be or not to be. Sunt, they are. Sunt. Good job. Our next word there is said. Said means but. Said. Brevi tempore. Brevi tempore. You've seen this one a lot. The hourglass is turning up and down. It's in a short time, in a brief time. Tempus tempore. Hodie. Hodie simply means today. It kind of rhymes. It doesn't look like you pronounce it that way, but that's why you're saying it. Hodie. Did I hear you? Good. Hodie means today. Tandem. Tandem. Good. Say it again. Tandem. We're going to talk about this one more in just a minute. Non yam. Non yam. The I is like a Y. So non yam. You try. Non yam. One more time. Non yam. You're doing good. Keep going. Next one, quoque. Quoque simply means also. This is kind of a hard one to remember. There's no little clues for you, so we just have to pronounce it a few times. Quoque. Quoque. Good. Optime, as we say in Latin. Next word, lante. Lante. I bet those of you that know music can guess what this has as a derivative. Lanto. You're playing something lento, it's slowly. So lante in Latin, lante. Good. Lante. Good job. Now we're to my favorite part usually, the derivatives. But because I thought you were getting a little tired of looking at my picture today, I tried to find some other pictures that would help you remember the derivatives. We can't always find a picture for everything, but I think these make the point. So look with me, if you would, at the pictures and try to remember the word as you're looking at the derivative. And remember, these are on the test too. Here we go. At length or at last. The Latin word is tandem. And you're probably saying, what does a bicycle built for two have to do with the word tandem, which means at last or at length? Actually, this is a word we copied in English, and the at length is what it's referring to. Someone's at length, on the bicycle with you. They're kind of the last one on the bicycle. It's a little hard to figure out, but you can actually go to a store and buy a tandem bicycle. This is what it'll look like. So hopefully that will help you remember tandem. Next we have arbor. In Latin, arbor means tree. And here we have our people celebrating Arbor Day. I actually researched Arbor Day to see when it started and that kind of thing, and it does come from our Latin word arbor, meaning tree. And with the greening of America, people have started having a big thing about planting trees and, the environment and green days and that kind of thing. So we have Arbor Day. Arbor Day is different on each state in the United States, depending on when their spring is and when it's a good time to grow the trees. But basically it's sometime in April. In Kentucky, it's the first Friday in April that we have Arbor Day. So think of Latin arbor, meaning tree, and we get Arbor Day. Here's one watching. Here he comes. Slowly, slowly he's walking. Our word for walk, ambulo. In Latin, we get the word ambulatory. Ambulatory. And I also kind of got a 2-for-1 here because remember lente, our word I talked about in music with you, lente. Lente also means slowly. So if you think of a turtle walking slowly, you're going to have 2 vocabulary words for the price of 1. So that's our derivatives for today. And now comes the fun part that you probably like, which is going to be playing our game. Now this one is a little bit, a little bit easier, I think, because there are not a whole lot of them. And again, this game is off the website. Here you're going to actually put a word in a phrase. And I don't know if you can see these real clearly on the screen, but I think you'll get the idea of what you're doing. So follow along with me if you would. And again, when you're on the website, you'll be able to see these very clearly. So here we are at one of the games off the website. I really encourage you to click on Whereby on the website and go to the specific chapter games. In this game, you want to take a word that is on the right, whether it's puella, et, or agris, and make it fit into the sentences. And you can do it by process of elimination, but some of them have more than just 3. I just wanted to show you this so you'd get the hang of it. So the word girl is going to fit in the second sentence. Cornelia is a Roman girl. Let's see if we're right. Ta-da! Yes, we are. Now we're left with et, so I need to look at my 2 other sentences and figure out which sentence et would go in. The first sentence says, Cornelia and Flavia are friends. The last sentence says, finally, the girls walk slowly from the fields to the country house and farm. Obviously, I want the first sentence. Cornelia et Flavia sunt amicae. Let's see if we're right again. Well, of course we are. And now, by process of elimination, we know that agris fits in our last sentence. Remember we talked about agris meant fields. We got the word agriculture. So here we go. And you see that you're correct on all 3. All right, so now you've seen how to play that game, and hopefully you'll practice it some. Remember, before you take your test, there are 3 important questions to ask yourself. Number 1, can I spell the Latin word? Number 2, what does it mean? And number 3, do I know an English derivative? If you answered yes, ita in Latin, you're ready for your test. So here's my little cheer to get you going studying tonight. Yes, 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 I'm ready for my test. Ita, 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 ready for the test. All righty, I'm sure you're revved up and ready to go. I know you're going to do good on your test, so bona fortuna. See you at chapter 4.